just goes to show that Beyonce sees and hears everything. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming with a spontaneous video. I did not expect to do this video, and I'm kind of like, wow, things really fall into place. And this is going to be a piggyback of my last two videos, specifically my last video I did about how Destiny's Child was catered to Beyonce and all of that, right? And you know, we had the discussions. Look at that video, look through the comments. Very interesting comment section and different opinions and perspectives, right? But I came today because yesterday Beyonce released a new remix to her song Break My Soul, and she's been releasing remixes. And you know, her album came out, Act 1. You know, this is a new era for her. It's like this house music. You know, she's paying homage to like a lot of gay artists and like, you know, the ballroom scene. I think this is like a freeing album. You know, it's a celebratory album, dance, like a feel-good album, especially in today's society with everything going on. I feel like for the people who feel the impact from this album, for the people who feel the energy from this album, it was much needed. But with all that, she recently sampled Madonna in her latest remix, her song Vogue, which I'm pretty sure we all heard it by now. We watching this, right? Or you just knew the song anyway. In that Madonna song, right, where she did the part where she was listing off different celebrities and different people, it was, you know, a lot of white people, you know, a lot of white entertainers. Beyonce did this remix and she flipped it. She started naming a lot of influential, iconic black women, especially within the music industry. And one of those names that she named more than once was Aaliyah's name.
Mother of the house. Michelle, Chloe, Halle, Aaliyah. Love, die, hating. Queen Mother, Madonna, Aaliyah.
It was just like, wow. You know, at first I was at work. Y'all know me, I'm always working when I'm not doing YouTube. And people was like DMing me and sending me like, oh, Tony, look at this. Beyonce named Aaliyah. And I'm like, wait, what? And I listened to it and I was like, wow. At first, it was so fast, I had to re-listen to it. But then I realized, I'm like, wait, not only did she name her once, she named her twice. And if you know that Beyonce is really particular. She's really selective. So for her to pick out certain names to name, and for her to name Aaliyah twice, I feel like there's a subliminal message, but then there's the obvious message that she still has a love for Aaliyah. She still has appreciation for Aaliyah and her artistry and her music and the friendship that they were developing.
On the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
And the main reason why I said this is because you know how I do my Aaliyah, Beyonce videos. I did 2 years ago, and I did another one 2.5 years ago. And within that, it's just been, y'all know, this whole Aaliyah, Beyonce debate and the whole, if Aaliyah was still alive, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Beyonce, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, the Beyonce fans come, and then the Aaliyah fans, and then it's just a whole imaginary war, an imaginary beef. It's just like, you think about it, it's like, what's going on?
Had enough of this discussion.
This August, in a few weeks, it makes 21 years since Aaliyah's tragic passing. You know, because Aaliyah was on her way up to becoming one of the biggest names in the industry, comes that thing where it's like, oh, Aaliyah would have been in Beyonce's place, and then, you know, the Beyonce fans retaliate, and then the Aaliyah fans retaliate, and then it's just this whole imaginary beef, like I said, for no reason. It's just like, damn.
Oh my God.
Sometimes you think that these little fan wars are just like a little imaginary beefs that people have on Twitter, people have on Instagram, people have in YouTube comment sections. But I feel like Beyonce is aware of this. Beyonce, her team, everybody. Beyonce pays attention to social media. You have to. She may not be on social media like other ones. She might not do interviews like she used to, but she pays attention. And I feel like one of the things Beyonce knew is how people were still debating her and Aaliyah together. And I know Beyonce was like, this is over 10 years. Over the last 10 years, I've been seeing these debates. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, like.
Wait a minute, hold on.
And I feel like this was Beyonce's way of not only showing like, oh, how much she appreciates Aaliyah and her artistry, right? By shouting her out when it came to that part where it was like naming all the black woman icons in music. I feel like this was Beyonce's way of showing the different black women artists who she has love for and she still appreciates, and she has a, you know what I'm saying? But it was also a subliminal way of saying, like, you know, stop it. You know, all the debates, and I'm pretty sure Beyonce doesn't see everything people say on Twitter, but a major thing, sometimes Beyonce and Aaliyah trends because people are putting them against each other. And it's like, Aaliyah passed in 2001. Beyonce is still out here doing her thing, and you know, Aaliyah's influence is still seen even 21 years later. But it's like, really? People are still pitting them against each other and like making these debates and these what ifs, and it's just like, and I know Beyonce got wind of this, and you know, every once in a while she would post Aaliyah on Instagram. This was her way of telling her fans, like, stop it. You know, let's just enjoy the music. Let's just celebrate not only Aaliyah, but everyone she named, and just black women in music in general. Just to clarify, what I was saying was, since the beginning of the music industry, it's always been harder for black women to make it to a certain level. So when more than one black woman does, why does it always have to be a competition? Why does it always have to be a comparison? Who's better? Who sings better? Who looks better? Who performs better? Who has the better clothes? Who has the most hits? Who has the highest chart? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't they all just be celebrated? Back to my last video, not only did she give a shout out to Aaliyah, but she gave a shout out to Michelle, she gave a shout out to Kelly, and like I said, we all know how Beyonce was the favorite and blah, 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 right? But she still has love for her sisters. And, you know, they made history together. They had a whole bunch of success together. So I love how Beyonce still pays homage to them. And even though, like, Beyonce is at this superstar level, you know, some may say she let it get to her head, but with this, it's like she still shows how much love she has for them. To add on, Beyonce can only include so many names on that bridge, so she had to be very selective on who she chose, who she named, in what order to make it match up, you know? So it's like a lot of people and a lot of fans is like, why didn't she include this one? Why didn't she include that one? She could only include so many names. That doesn't mean she don't have respect for them or she doesn't appreciate them as an artist. She can only include so many names. But I do feel like the names that she did choose goes to show how much she values them as an artist or inspirational as a peer. And it also goes to show how much people value Beyonce's opinion on who she thinks deserves to be recognized by who she name dropped on that bridge. So with all of that, I just want to ask y'all. What do y'all think it takes Beyonce to put out this new remixing Madonna's Vogue song, naming all these black iconic women in music? Do you think it was the whole thing where, you know, Beyonce has wind of this? She has wind of all the rumors of how she don't support this and she don't support that. And remember all this stuff with Khalees that just recently came out about her, you know, the song rights and this and that, and, you know, the sampling and all that, right? And a lot of people say, oh, she was going to put Khalees in the song, but, you know, that was just a joke, whatever. I'm pretty sure she has caught wind of these rumors. What do y'all think enticed Beyonce to put out this new remix? And, you know, name dropping and shouting out artists like Aaliyah and Rihanna and Nicki Minaj, and you know what I'm saying? Has Beyonce really seen all these debates and, you know, with Aaliyah and like all the different plain jokes people were making and the retaliation?
The lowest is what? 0.
Beyonce really has her ears and eyes open on a lot of different things, and because she's so private, you know, the public and her fans may not know how much she really sees everything. You know, Beyonce is at a level to where it's like, if you're not paying attention to what people are saying, then it's like, you know, you can be private. Beyonce has a thing where she gets wind of everything and she handles it behind the scenes. She looks at things behind the scenes, or if she doesn't, you know, her team is. And for all the real Aaliyah fans watching this, there's a new petition out for Aaliyah to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's almost at 500 signatures. I know how most people feel about petitions, but a petition has worked for Aaliyah in the past. I feel like Aaliyah really deserves this, so don't forget to add Rock Hall and add Questlove so they can really see how much we want this. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has even seen this in an Instagram story, so they are well aware of this. They even posted Aaliyah on their Instagram page around 2-3 years ago, so they know. And Aaliyah is eligible. She's been eligible for at least 2-3 years now. So I'm just doing my part. I hope y'all do yours. And I know how most people might be like, oh, it's far-fetched. But if they can induct Biggie, if they can induct Tupac, I don't feel like Aaliyah is so far behind. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave the link down below. And I hope y'all sign away. Just a nice surprise for her to even name Aaliyah and like to really shout her out. She even name dropped other artists like Joe Scott and Rosetta Tharpe, and that's another thing. I'm like, oh right, Beyonce, because a lot of people don't know about Rosetta Tharpe and how she was a black woman in the early 1900s who was really one of the founders of rock and roll. A lot of people don't know that. So I feel like that's gonna be another thing where people gonna look up Rosetta Tharpe. Who is that? I knew who she was, but I'm pretty sure a lot of her fans maybe didn't know. A lot of her younger fans didn't know. But because Beyonce name dropped her, they now will. And it's just like, wow. You know, this album rollout for Beyonce, this Renaissance album rollout in this era is going to be really interesting. And this was only act 1. Apparently she has 2 more acts. I just wanted to come out and like give my reaction to Beyonce name dropping Aaliyah and all these other black iconic women in music and get your opinion on it. Why do you think Beyonce decided to do that? You know, what was your reaction to it? And do you think this would finally put an end to that imaginary beef that Beyonce fans have with Aaliyah just because of the, you know, hypothetical Aaliyah what ifs? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's still going to be debates about it, you know, the Aaliyah Beyonce thing, but I feel like this will put a dent in it. Beyonce doing this will put a dent in it. And it's her way of showing her fans like, be careful what you say. I see everything or almost everything. So, you know, be careful with your words. You know, we can have opinions. I know y'all standing up for me. I know y'all sticking up for me, but there's extremes that you don't have to go to.
Why are you doing that?
What did y'all think about it? And to go even deeper, what do y'all think about Beyonce's newest album? And how do you think this era is going to play out for her? Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.
I'm your girl, you're my girl. Won't you know that we love you?